Hello, everyone. I'm Alessio from Impronta, and this is Soundscapes. Thank you for being here. We pushing boundaries and spreading culture and musical knowledge since forever, I would say. And this time, we are deeply honored to welcome one of the most influential and key figures on contemporary electronic techno scene. DJ, producer, innovator, sonic storyteller. I would say this guy has been a visionary force for the last 2 decades. From the early trance movement, the early residency in underground Frankfurt clubs, to taking over the whole world, I would say yes, yes. Um, from the founding of CLR to deep reflection above and beyond the evolving of the club culture, this guy has always centered his work around the connection between body, mind, and sound. We are so proud again to host him for the first time for our beloved Soundscapes here in Tinì Soundgarden. Thank you for the hospitality. And so fasten your seatbelt. We are about to deep diving into his thoughts, into his journey, into the future vision of an artist who will never fucking stop evolving. Please welcome Mr. Chris Liebing. Give him a round of applause, please. Thank you, Chris, for being here.
Grazie mille.
Grazie mille a te.
That introduction was way too nice.
No, you deserve it.
And it's absolutely amazing to be here. What a incredible, beautiful setting. I had no idea this is happening like this on this scale. And I'm very grateful for everybody to be here. All familiar faces. Amazing to see you all out of coming here to Italy, sitting here in this beautiful place, in this beautiful club, Tinì Soundgarden, where I don't know how many times I've been here. Such an incredible experience, and finally we get to sit here and talk.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's great, because Italy has always been one of the main connection. You develop a strong bond with this country. And do you remember the first time you playing a gig in Italy?
Yeah, I remember the first time I played in Italy. That was 2002.
2002. Where?
It's a long time ago. 2002, actually, in Florence.
Yeah, I imagine that. In Fortezza.
Fortezza de Bas.
Yeah, Fortezza de Bas.
Fortezza de Bas. And I don't know what happened there, but something started. A relationship that lasted up till now, that lasts still continuing up till now for over 22 years, 23 years.
And this is amazing.
And there was an instant connection. There was I don't know, maybe I think the same way about nightlife and dancing as Italians.
Yeah, so
like we're just there,
standpoint,
have a good time, have fun, and it just took off, and it never stopped. It was just like an ongoing, beautiful love affair.
Yeah. Besides Tinì Soundgarden, of course, there's any clubs or festival, you feel very welcome, and then you feel the warmth of the crowd, maybe more than other places.
More than other places?
Yeah.
In Italy or in
Italy,
the world?
In Italy, from the north or south part.
You
see any differences?
Well, there's differences, but in general, Italy is just this beautiful place of a beautiful philosophy of life with food, wine, sun.
Yeah.
Nature, and just enjoying yourself. And I mean, of course, I have had countless incredible nights at Cocorico.
Yeah, sure.
Riccione. If we go down south, I remember incredible nights at Parco Gonda.
Yeah, Parco Gonda.
At Clorofila.
Yeah. It's beautiful clubs.
And when we go to Rome, Spazio Novicentre, or back in the days, Goa Club was very, very special.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, and if we move up more further to the north, I have always had a great relationship with anything happening in Florence.
From north to south, there's always been
everywhere. And Milan. If I think of Magazzini Generali and Amnesia, the club, it's incredible. Bergamo. If I think of Bolgia, of all places, it's amazing to have experienced and witnessed all this incredible life energy, life force, passion about
Yeah.
just being together, listening to music, and just having a good time. There's no other place like it. I was always kind of comparing it. If you ever can compare Italy with other countries,
Yes.
Italy is really special. It was Argentina. Argentina
Yeah.
has a similar. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe somebody
Yeah,
can explain it to me. And but my love for Italy just spans way back. When I first came across Italo disco in the 80s.
Okay, so
my God, that was amazing.
The first approach was the Italo disco stuff.
Absolutely. Music-wise,
beautiful.
of course, everybody remembers all these Italian romantic things with Romina and Albino. Romina,
Albano and Romina Power.
Albano and Romina Power,
And do
exactly.
you remember Sabrina Salerno? Yes.
Of course.
Yes, of
Oh
course.
yes, of course. I remember. Who doesn't remember as a 15-year-old boy? I recently saw actually a documentary on
Yeah.
on Italo disco, and she was very present in there as well. And Italo disco came over to Germany, and I mean, I started DJing in clubs in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So the Italo disco, and in the 80s, I just loved to listen to the Italo disco, and then underground music movement. That
Yeah.
label, you know that?
Yeah.
It was such an influential label back in the
Back in the
90s,
days, yeah.
mid of 90s, and that was like one of the first, for me, bigger Italian labels that was very influential when it comes to electronic music. But even before, I mean, Fiction Factory. What else do we have?
From more commercial
from
sound.
the
Sandy
80s,
Martin,
80s.
Sandy Martin was super Italo disco.
Yes.
That Ibiza stuff more melodic than the others.
Yeah.
But I would say that the Italian underground scene started there.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it was a really interesting approach because it was kind of a punk approach.
Yeah.
It was really
sure.
punk.
Always.
I mean, they used the cheapest
Mm,
synthesizers that were around, and they just didn't give a fuck. They just like, well, I don't know how to use it, but we'll make music with it.
yeah.
And we have somebody singing on it. And what I loved most about it was, which became later kind of like a controversy in Germany, that you would just make up people, you just imagine singers, you know,
Okay.
like you have somebody like in the video who's
Yeah.
never sang on that track, but you just have
Yeah,
lip
just
syncing
like
everything.
Milli Vanilli's stuff.
Exactly.
Like
It
that.
was so much show as well, which was beautiful. It was like let's get out of this.
Which is beautiful. Yeah.
It was amazing. It was no limits. Let's just do it, and let's sell it to the wider audience by pretending we're much nicer than we actually not are.
Yeah. The feel is this.
Looking
Yeah.
at it. So yeah.
Some fake singers, some fake singers, but very nice producers.
Yeah.
For the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about producer, there's any Italian from the past, or the present that you really appreciate, or you working with?
Oh, there's a lot now. It was really interesting in the beginning of 2000s. There were not many techno producers out in Italy.
Yeah.
It was more like an audience that was coming to enjoy the music, not so much creating it. And the only early ones that I, of course, got in touch with was like Marco Carola, Gaetano Parisio, Rino Cerone.
Yeah, the Napolitani sound.
The Napolitani. But there was not really... It was interesting because we in Germany in the 90s, we already had like loads of labels and producers going on. And in Italy, that took off a little later. Then.
There's no other example than maybe Rome. The sound of Rome was very experimental, very important, but the standout was the Napolitano sound.
Yes.
Marco Carola.
No, when it came to that was it, and it's amazing to see how it developed. Currently, one Italian that is on my label is the Southern.
Okay.
He's constantly releasing just incredible music. I could list like loads of new Italian producers now, and a lot of Italian producers that do absolutely incredible music.
Some of them were actually sent to you thousands of demos.
Well, some, yeah. I don't get as many demos as you think.
Okay.
But that's because I don't have a demo email address.
You supervise the whole thing, or you have a guy?
Nobody knows how to send demos to me. So that is actually a good thing. So I get to just like lean back and
the right number
and find out. Yeah.
Okay. So talking about music, your two latest album were on. There's a word for mute records. I mean, I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, iconic. It's enough. I don't know.
No, it's if I may explain that a little bit.
Yeah,
the
sure.
story.
I want to know everything,
Mute Records, for those who don't know, is a label that is
guys.
had its 40th anniversary like 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe. So 40 years ago, this one guy called Daniel Miller started a label because he did some music. He had no idea how to release it, and then nobody wanted to have it. So he went to Rough Trade Records in London, and he said, like, "What are you going to do with it?" And they were like, "Nobody, I don't know, like just press it on your own." And so he went to the pressing plant, and he had this record. And then they asked him, like, "Well, we have to name it somehow. We'll have to, yeah." And it was like, whoa, what? And you just saw like this mixing desk, I think, next to him, and there was this button called mute. You can mute something. It was like, we'll call it mute, okay. And that was the first record. The record was called The Normal, TVOD, and Warm Leatherette. It's 2 tracks which have changed music history, and they were produced in a bedroom on a 4-track piece of device. That means you could only record 4 tracks. Yeah. So you had a drumming, you had his vocal, and 2 other things. And when he started that label, it was in the very beginning. It wasn't 79, I think. It was before the 80s.
Yes.
Or 78 maybe. 79. I think it was 79. Yeah, it must have been 2019. Was the 40th year.
79.
Yeah. That was actually his own release on his own label. And then as he started the label, he had a good friend called Fat Gadget, and he released the early electronic music on mute. And he had a gig. And at that gig in London, there was a band playing before Fat Gadget, and Daniel was really interested in that band. He was like, "Oh, this is a great band! Like, you guys on a label?" And they were like, "No, we're not on a label. There's some people interested. I don't know. We should release something." And the band is called Depeche Mode. So he discovered Depeche Mode sort of as a warm-up band for his one of his acts. He took them under his wing, and then this whole mute history started. And if you look at the catalog today, there's Erasure, there's Nick Cave. It's so incredible what this label has released. Yazoo.
Yazoo.
If you go back in the 80s, like all those incredible hits were released on mute records, and I grew up with this label. Like, that label totally influenced my music taste completely. And then fast forward into the beginning of the 2000s, and I worked on my very first own album. That was in 2002. And my biggest dream was to release it on Nova Mute, because Nova Mute was the techno sub-label of Mute Records.
I don't know that.
Yeah, and I was sitting in the office, and I was super nervous, and I played my music to the label manager back then, and it was interesting. And at some point, Daniel Miller came in, and he looked at me, and I'm like, "Oh,
it's like the Pope."
Oh my God! And I was like, "Hi, Daniel." Hi. And I met him. It was really nice. It was the first time I met him, and they didn't release my record. It's the same excuse I always use, like, "Yeah, the release schedule is full." And I was like, okay, but this is always a really nice thing if you get declined in life, maybe some other doors open.
Yeah.
And so I decided, okay, then I release it on my own label, and I just do whatever I do. But the relationship kind of started there. It didn't end. I did a remix then for Nova Mute for a Motor, which by now is a good friend of mine, Brian Black Asteroid. He had a project on mute. And then fast forward, I've doing all my techno stuff, and I have a great time as a techno DJ and a producer. And then I felt back in 2015.
Yeah.
Am I taking away your next question?
No.
Yeah.
We are following the path.
In 2015, I always felt like I became a DJ because I don't know how to play any instruments.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know anything about music theory. I have no idea about anything, but I always wanted to create music, and techno or electronic music was like, back then, you don't really know that much about it, but there's a machine that makes sounds. Like, let's just organize the sound somehow. I put a bass drum under it. So in 95, I think in 94 I started producing, and so it was so nice to be creative with music without knowing anything.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty of electronic music in the beginning. It's like you didn't have to know anything. You just like threw something together which sounded okay for
It's
you.
what you feel.
Yeah. And but I always had in my head techno is a certain type of dance music, of course. But I always felt like, I also want to do something with vocals, and I want to do something that influences me. You know, I'm a big fan of Massive Attack, of Radiohead, of Burial, of all these beautiful things that you listen to. And I always felt like I want to do a little bit more. So
you want to express yourself in a different way.
I need to explain a little bit more. When I got into electronic music first in '93, there was one producer in Frankfurt that made most of the records that I really liked, and his name is Ralf Hildenbeutel.
Okay.
And he was producing mainly for IQ Records back then. That's a label out of Frankfurt, kind of a trancey label, and Harthaus was more the techno label. Actually, a company, also a label I worked at in '95. And so I got to know these people there. I got to know Ralf back then. And then when I thought about it, okay, I have no idea how to play instruments, but I know this absolute incredible musician, Ralf. And I was like, I'm going to ask him, the guy who actually brought me into techno.
Yeah.
I asked him if he wants to sit in the studio with me and make an album which then I hoped we're going to release it on mute. Like, I had a good relationship with Daniel Miller by then, because we played DJ gigs together and everything, and I always kept him updated of what I was doing.
What kind of music was
techno
playing?
He's a total techno DJ.
Okay.
Yeah. He's 73 or 74.
74. Check
74.
Today.
He still plays occasional gigs. My total role model.
Yeah.
In so many aspects. And I got to know Daniel better. So I asked Ralf. Ralf and I sit in the studio together. We're starting to make music. I'm sending it over to Daniel. Daniel is interested. And bam, at some point we had an album that was released on mute. So for me, it became absolutely incredible, full circle. I was making music with the guy who got me into techno, and I got to release the album on the label that formed my musical identity in a way.
It's incredible.
And I still can't believe that this was
the achievement of a lifetime.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, you work in studio with Daniel too?
Oh, yeah. On the second album, actually, Daniel came to Frankfurt and we were sitting down with us. He brought all his modular setup for the second album. And I was the one sitting in the studio, have nothing to say, nothing to do. I was like just sitting in the back there with my headphones on and just occasionally get my phone out to just secretly film that. I never forget this moment. It was like, there's Ralf sitting on his computer. There's Daniel sitting in front of his makeshift modular setup. And there's me just kind of like a director with his headphones on, just telling like, yeah, do this a little bit more, do this a little less. And that was an incredible experience because what you learn being together with those incredible people.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. But Burns Low, Another Day, were released on mute, of course. Marketed more melodic and introspective shift in your sound.
Yes.
What inspired this shift? The most.
It was always in me. I always wanted to do some more like stuff that it's dark. You lean back, you listen to it, and you don't necessarily dance to it. It's like it doesn't have the dance energy. It just has more the energy of what when you listen to Boards of Canada or Massive Attack or something like this. And I wanted to do that, but I knew I wasn't capable of doing it completely alone. And so that's why I got Ralf's help. But I think ultimately, if I'm very honest, I maybe shouldn't have released it under my name. You be the judge, because people were expecting something completely different. And
but the works are
I think if
really really beautiful. I didn't expect anything like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing.
Then it's good.
That moves me a lot.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice that happened. That's good. That's great. But it was like people think in categories, most people.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if he releases an album, I want to have a techno album. So some people were even disappointed. It's like, oh, what the hell is this now? But anyways, I'm very, very proud of both albums, that what we've accomplished there. And it was, of course, a little bit outside my DJ activities.
Yeah. I think that's time to listen to maybe one of these tracks. This is Circles from Another Day, your second album from 2022.
Yes.
Okay, this track is melodic layered production with the singer Tom Adams.
Tom Adams,
Tom
beautiful,
Adams,
amazing singer from
yeah.
England.
And let's listen it.
Yes.
Yes. So now I have to
And
find
if
it.
we're listening to the album version, that's a little bit of the longer version. There's a little break when a lot of crazy sounds come in, and that is Daniel Miller's solo. it's his solo on his modular setup.
Sometimes I'm rising, sometimes I'm falling. I have been feeling so tired. For so many years. Always moving in circles. And just ending back here. And it's like I'm caught in a tide. Rising, falling. I'm scared. In the night, we are dancing. I feel alright. Feel alive. Become a dreamer, a star ascending. With open eyes. With open eyes. Don't feel tired. Night when we are dancing, I feel alright, feel alive.
So not what common people expected.
Not really.
But the people who loves your sound, who loves you as a human being, I think it's a great shift. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Thank you.
New path.
Thank you
for your journey. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
It was
beautiful.
it's obviously very influenced by the music of Depeche Mode.
Yeah,
as somebody
that's
can
for
hear.
sure.
But I thought I was okay because I had Daniel Miller, who produced Depeche Mode,
Yeah.
sitting with me in the
I
studio.
mean, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
It's okay.
Talk to
He's
Daniel.
responsive.
Yeah. So moving on, there's a thing who interests us, which is your DJ setup, which is always kind of a unique.
Yeah.
So could you tell us what's behind your current configuration and what you're looking for when you're designing your
Yeah.
live sets or your DJ sets?
I already apologize if my answers are longer than expected.
No, no.
When I
Love
started
it.
when I started DJing, I always like that was when I was 14, 15 years old, and we did our own little parties, and you had two tape decks where you had
Okay.
to rewind and forward to the right track.
So you started with tapes.
Oh, a tape deck, two tape decks. And you had the list of what's on your tape, and you had I was playing 80s music, you would
Okay,
be
sure.
playing like Peter Gabriel, you would be playing like you had this little
Yeah,
school
yeah, yeah.
parties, and I was sitting behind the tape decks at my list, like I want to play this next, or I want to play this next. So you would have exactly 3 minutes of how long that track is to forward or rewind the tape to the next track that you would play. and then hit play in a moment that the other one stops. And at that time, I already tried to do it as seamlessly as possible, because my goal was always to keep the people on the dance floor and not giving them the opportunity to just for a second think, maybe that's okay now, I'm going to go to the bar.
So no slow jams.
No. Well, no. They could have slow jams.
Slow jams for
as long as they're on the dance floor, that's
Okay.
fine. But if a track stops, you give people the opportunity
to go to the bar.
to consider, am I going to leave the dance floor, go to the bar, or am I going to stay on the dance floor? And so I was always trying to find ways to make that gap for people to decide if they want to leave the dance floor as short as possible.
Yeah.
Just throw something else at them, and they're like, oh, what the hell, I'm staying here. And so that was with tape decks. So when then I moved over to records in the beginning of the 90s, and I learned how to mix, I just started to realize, if you mix tracks with the same tempo, then you might seamlessly mix into each other, and you don't give the people at all the idea to leave.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even probably, if you do it really well, don't understand when the one song ends and the other song starts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the next goal. And that was when I was still playing like soul and hip hop and funk music and stuff
Because
like
you're
this.
in hip hop.
We're still like in the 90s, like
Okay,
early
so
90s,
You
91,
lived in the 90s.
92.
Okay, me
Yeah.
too.
and then I started to discover that there was like techno. I was really like, I don't know, it's just like I was like, wow. And we had a great record store
Yeah.
in Gießen, in my hometown.
Mhm.
And in that record store, of course, already there was like techno, and
Yeah.
there were techno DJs in my hometown.
Hey, you didn't
And
know
they
that.
looked at me always like, oh, look at this commercial DJ there, you know? And I was like, really, I really like that music. And again, I found these records, IQ, Ralf Hildenbeutel,
Mhm.
you know, these productions, like, wow, this is great. I need to get these records. So I had a good relationship with the guy who ran the record store. He's like, can you secretly put these records away for me so the others don't see what I'm buying? Because I don't want to be on their judgment,
Yeah.
judged by them. What's like, what am I doing? And then I got more into this, and I realized, wow, this is all made to be mixed together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, this is amazing. If I'm
Finally.
getting really good at it, I can maybe mix 2 or 3 tracks so they would not find a beginning or the end. So
Yeah.
for me, DJing was all about like creating this wall or carpet of sound
Yeah.
that is endless, that has no beginning, no end. It just continuously
Yeah.
goes on. So you just can get lost on a journey on your own,
Yeah.
the dance floor, and there's
sure.
nobody. There was not a moment where you really think, oh, now I'm gonna go because something else is starting. Yet keeping it interesting enough to
Yeah.
keep the people there, and that was how it started. So then my idea came. Okay, I played with records. How can I prolong a record?
Okay.
Because a record runs out at some point. You need to loop it somehow.
Yeah.
So that was the first step into, there was a device that somebody built, and it was called a Red Sound Cycloop sampler.
Okay. That's
It had,
way before Tractor.
it was way before Tractor, and you could connect it to your mixer, and
Okay.
you would feed whatever is running into this machine.
Okay.
You would hit a button, and it would sample 4 loops, and
Yeah.
it would replay it immediately in the same time.
What's the name of the device, please?
A Cycloop sampler, Red Sound. It was like a
the
little
result-
grey.
yeah, I remember that with a big.
You had a little
it's
display with a tempo.
I remember.
And it was working actually really nice. And that was like, you could sample a 4-bar loop, and you just let it run on another channel. So
Yeah.
even if the record would be running out, you still had that loop to mix something else in and to layer it with something else and with something else. And so that was the beginning of the idea. So I thought like, okay, we need to figure out a system where you can seamlessly do this. And then Native Instruments,
Yeah.
I got in touch with them. There was a young company back then, and the guy on top of Traktor was a guy called, is still actually,
Still.
this is the same guy, Friedemann Becker. And I got in touch with him, and it was like, they had the software already. There was a software
Okay, but
called
nobody.
Traktor,
Yeah.
but nobody was using
Yeah.
it. Absolutely no one. And the idea was to connect. There was Final Scratch as well, which is another software from
sure.
Holland, from
I
Dutch
g-
people.
I had it.
So you could play digital tracks via a time-coded record, meaning,
So the things is you helps developing
yeah,
Tractor.
yeah. We got
know
together and
that.
we're like, let's turn this into a system where you can use your records and use Traktor and load the tracks up. and then also you're gonna be able to loop it in the
Okay.
software. That was the great thing. You didn't need the sampler anymore, so you could loop it in the software. But it was still controlled by records. And it was 2 decks. So you had a third deck with your normal vinyl, 2 decks with Traktor. And then at some point, I have to admit that wasn't me, so I don't take the credit. Friedemann approached me and said, like, you can sync this stuff as well. I'm like, nah, we're DJs, we don't sync anything. But I always felt like, 2 decks are not enough. A third deck with records. It was like, couldn't we do, instead of 2 decks, we do 4 decks? And then I would be on board with the syncing, because then the syncing enables you to free up time to do other things, be creative.
Soundscapes.
Be creative, because we've mixed records enough.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I have to prove to anyone the syncing thing. So then Traktor released the first version with 4 decks, which was absolutely amazing. You could play 4 tracks, you could loop them, everything. But the thing was, you had a sync button, and that was like a total no-go in the DJ world. It's like, you using a sync button. It's still, I still see interviews like with DJs who are like, if I ever use the sync button, it's going to be the end of my career. And I was like, that's fine for DJs who play differently. It's like, I totally admire DJs like Sven Fade, who have only vinyl.
Yeah.
And he creates an incredible journey for people with 2 vinyls. Not a lot of people have that gift.
No.
I need technology to help me. So I try to help to create that technology.
That's so humble to hear this from you, Chris.
No, that is exactly the point. It's like, let's have technology do the stuff that you can't do, so you can concentrate on the stuff that is maybe more creative. And so then we started to have a Traktor with 4 decks.
Okay.
And then I felt like, okay, once we have 4 decks running, they're synced, what else can we do? And then I started to introduce more effects and drum machines into my setup. And that's what I've basically been experimenting since ever.
Since ever. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. The new section is the role of techno. Okay. We live in hard times with war, climate crisis. Do you think techno still has his function as a spiritual, social, and political thing for the people, or just entertainment?
No, I have no doubt that is the case, because when I look at the crowd and everybody's just dancing, that is the ultimate goal, that where you want to get at. People forget their phones. People forget. They're just like looking around, everybody's smiling, everybody's having a good time, everybody's jumping around. Nothing against getting your phone out and getting a quick like memory out of it. But being in the moment, and I think that is when I look down and you see the connection, and I'm in the same state and they're in the same state. We're in that moment, we're enjoying time together.
Yeah.
There's a certain unity going on. You can call that political. That's very spiritual, I think. That is something so basic that we have in us, to
primitive.
move to a beat, to a rhythm.
It's like art.
And if we can all move to a rhythm, we all synchronize in a way. We synchronize our frequencies, and we are one. We are literally, we overcome the boundaries of what we are in our physical body.
That's beautiful.
And we are entering a different realm. We're all one, moving together through certain vibrations, and that is the beauty of techno. I think this is really the beauty.
You feel the same.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
That,
amazing.
yeah. Well, the more I understand about it, the less I know about it somehow. But the more I understand how important this is. In the beginning, you took it more like, we're all having fun together.
Yeah.
But then you're starting to realize, hey, maybe some people go home after tonight and they're on the dance floor looking around. It's like, I'm cool with all those people around me. Maybe I should be cool with all those people around me in my whole life.
Yeah. Do you notice any difference between places where maybe techno is like this political and social thing, and places where techno is just like entertainment? I mean, there's Bassiani, there's Ibiza. So the crowd, how the crowd react to your music, depending on where you are in the world.
I think there's a big difference in what type of music we're talking about.
What type of music?
Yeah, I think if we're talking about, I don't know, the electronic music or the techno that I do, I would say I try to stay away. I try to stay away. I can't work with stuff that is too obvious.
Okay.
So on the dance floor. If you know, this is how do I put it? If we were what we were just listening to from my album,
Yeah.
I would not want to really play that on a dance floor, to be honest, because on a dance floor I see like more. There's a beat going and everybody's going. This is made for you at home. This is made for you to when you travel, when you look out of the window in the train ride or something like this, you know, to get lost in it. There's a difference to this. So if we're talking about it's all about only entertainment, which
Okay.
is totally fine, by the way,
Yeah.
then you have to go to an entertainer like David Guetta is. He's an entertainer, and I think that's great. He sees himself as an entertainer. He doesn't see himself as a DJ.
Yes.
I'm entertaining the people, which is absolutely amazing. But I think the function of a DJ is to take people on a journey that they have not expected to be on, and then maybe takes turns that challenge them. But it's great, and it's a great experience. That is a whole different thing, and I think that function is everywhere in the world. No matter what crowd you have in front of
Right.
you, we're all in the end we're all humans with the basic needs of
Yeah.
moving to a beat.
Yeah.
But of course, you can take it to total entertainment and have incredible visuals behind you that maybe take away from the music. I'm not judging.
So you
anything.
prefer something more dark, more?
No, well, for me, that's how I started. For me, it's like a stroboscope and fog. My first time I played the Tresor in Berlin in '96. That was Love Parade '96. It was just down in the basement in the actual safe, and there was literally only a stroboscope, and there was only a fog machine,
And that's it.
and that's it.
That's
And then it was
perfect.
like dripping from the walls, from the ceiling, sweat, raw.
Maybe
Nothing
keep,
else.
keep
You
things
didn't need
simple.
anything
Maybe
else.
keep things simple. is
Exactly.
better, yeah.
Yeah, nothing that distracts you from
this
your
for the
inner
music,
journey,
for the music.
from your inner journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like new generation experience clubbing in a different way than the older generation?
I believe they do.
With this fucking phone.
Yeah, because of social media, of all that. You know, it is what it is. I also have two daughters that are in the age now of going clubbing, and I see how different they approach these things. You know, back then you didn't even know what DJ is playing. You just
Yeah.
knew that's a great club. I'm gonna go there and have a great time, and because you never had the possibility to share that immediately in real time
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all your friends worldwide. I'm in this club now. You know, we were lucky. We didn't have that. We
No,
didn't have that.
I grew up
I
in
f-
a
yeah.
different area. Yes.
Yeah,
It was
I feel
beautiful.
I feel a little bad for the kids today that they are.
they
you know,
had to experience this.
but-
So
but-
the clubs that trying to remove phone from the
That's a great
that's a great
experience.
experience for
That's
us.
a really good
for
experience.
for
Yeah,
them,
but I think
yes.
there's a little counter movement going on between young people as well who say
Yeah.
like, okay, I've had my phone in my hand long enough filming a DJ. I want to experience something else. I
Yeah,
want to I just want to get lost in
Yeah,
music and have a
yeah.
stroboscope
Again,
and
yeah,
fog.
yeah.
And
That's
and-
like punk.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
reaction to the
And then,
status quo.
and then I'm saying like, yeah, that's me. Come to me.
Yeah. And talking about the club culture, are you how you imagine club culture in 10 years? I mean, I know it's a silly question, I know, but I have
Yeah.
to.
It's a bigger question. Can I imagine the world in 10 years?
Yeah.
Can I imagine the world in like 2
Can
years?
imagine me in 10 years. Yes.
Can I imagine the world in 2 years? Are we still here in 2 years, or have killer lawnmower robots killed us all? I have no idea, but I think, you know, coming back to the idea of that is a very basic feeling and instinct we all have to move together to a rhythm. You know, when you see the tribes in Africa just jumping around
just
on a rhythm,
jumping, yeah.
this will never leave us.
No,
this
it's,
will-
it's always happened.
This will never,
Yeah,
never
always.
gone. So if there's people who still want to explore this and experience this kind of being together in a sound, in a trance-like state, in a sound, as long as we will have techno, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. True words. Have you ever gone through a period of crisis, or maybe a burnout, or creative stop during the latest years? For maybe for also the social the social landscapes.
Yeah. I have to say I have not.
No.
I am one very fucking lucky guy.
Yeah.
I
Beautiful.
I
Because I've gone through these things maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
times a
slightly,
year, so yeah.
of course, you start to have doubts. You go through a period where you have doubts. Am I doing this right? Is that the really right thing to do? But if I look back, I have no memory of a moment where I was doubting myself if what I do is what I want to do.
That's cool.
And I think I've always naturally kept the good balance of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up in my earlier years doing a lot of sports and being
So
outside
you're
a
a
lot.
sporty guy.
Yeah,
What
so
sports do you play?
it was mostly tennis and skiing,
Okay.
amongst other sports, like anything that's fun, really. And I think I've always had that as a good balance.
Yeah.
I think you have it really hard if you're only in this business, and then you get burned out. I think I've always, if you know,
But,
I
you
never got
have-
to the
Yeah, yeah.
I never
But
got to the point.
You understand earlier, which
I didn't know.
Was
I didn't think I understood it. I was just lucky.
Just inner,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's just like, yeah, it was just in me. I
Yeah.
just wanted to continue to do sports and
So
to
is
be
there-
outside,
Is there a place outside the stage where you feel really free?
up on the mountain.
Up in the mountain.
Yeah, I actually moved to the mountains, so I live
Where do you
like
live?
5 minutes away from a ski lift now,
Wow.
and so in the winter I'm just up there, and whenever my studio gets too small and too dark, I'm up on the mountain within like 30 minutes.
What kind of music you play at your beautiful home on the mountain?
When I'm up on the mountain, actually nothing.
Actually nothing.
No, I want to hear the nature.
So maybe I had
This-
something for your home.
Yes,
Yeah, you have a turntable, right?
I do have.
Yeah,
turntable
you have
at
a
home,
fucking
yes.
turntable. I know that.
Yeah.
So, because I'm running
I
this
get a
beautiful record shop,
Ooh, I get
yes,
records.
which is called Slow Record Shop.
I've heard
I know-
about it, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you are a hip hop head in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
A-
choose
a
for
what
you.
head?
You are a hip hop head.
A pop,
A
a
rap,
pot, a
rap,
pothead.
No, not a pothead. You are not a pothead. Rap.
I'm all of these things.
You are so passionate about rap music,
Yes.
hip hop music. So
Yes.
I decided to give to you one of the breakthrough artists of the year, which is Deutsche.
Wow.
And I think it's a Grammy winner female artist. This album is amazing. So a big round of applause for this gift, please.
That is
Thank
an
you.
awesome
Thank
gift.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No,
This is
that's-
awesome.
I hope you appreciated it
Oh,
like me, because this
Yeah, I'm
fire.
This just goes right into my collection, because I still everywhere I still buy records. When I'm in London, I usually come home with the second suitcase because I've
Wow.
been spending too much time at Rough Trade. It's awesome. Thank you so much for
I really
because I
appreciate it.
also believe like this is a very 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 important medium
Yeah.
that we have, which stores music on something so physical.
Yeah, it's
that-
tangible.
Yeah,
You can't stream this feeling, right?
absolutely.
Touch it.
You can touch it, you can read it
Yeah.
while you're, and that is something, if I may, like young people sadly don't have that experience anymore. I remember when I bought my first
Yeah.
vinyls, you saved your money, you saved your 10 marks,
Yeah.
you went to the store, you got this record, and then you were sitting at home and listening to it like up and
It's
down
just like that.
while reading everything. So you would
The
like,
credits, the people, the
yeah,
person,
it's like
the
who
people
did this, who's
involved.
behind this, who's the label, and
Yeah.
and you would. It's just an incredible experience. You would invest time to listen to something that not immediately would get your attention.
It's
Yeah, and that is a little bit the problem today. That
yeah.
if it doesn't grab your attention immediately, it's dismissed.
The span is too
Next.
Is too,
And-
too low.
And if you live your life like that, you don't know what you're missing. And that's what I feel a little sorry about
This
young generation
younger
that gets
generation, yeah.
bombarded with shit. It's not
Yeah.
their fault.
Yeah.
It's we created
No,
that.
Absolutely
We are creating
not.
that.
And absolutely not. They are
Yeah.
just.
So thank you very much for this.
It's a
Because
pleasure.
one day when AI kills all internet and we have no access to anything anymore because
Yeah.
they want to control us, we can still run parties with a
Yeah,
vinyl,
yeah.
solar powered,
Power to the vinyl. Yes.
solar powered sound systems, and we can put on the
Solar
vinyl.
power sound system on
Yeah.
Mars, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe on Mars.
Maybe on Mars, maybe.
Yes. So I think that's time to reflect on your legacy after all these years, Chris. What excites you? I mean, I can imagine after all your words of tonight, but
Yeah.
tell me, what excites you the most?
what excites me
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
is every day I get up and I can do the same thing
The
over
same thing,
again.
because
after
you love
all-
music.
After
music
all
is
these
your
years,
work.
it's the first thing I do in the morning is throw on music.
Yeah.
And music is just so incredible for us humans. And you know, it always sounds lame if people say that, like, "Your music saved my life," but it is true for
It
so
is
many.
true.
It
It
is
is true.
very true
Daniel
for so
Miller
many.
saved your life.
Yeah,
I mean, Tupac saved my life. I mean,
absolutely. He
it's-
doesn't want to hear it though. If I tell him
No,
every
no,
time,
I
he's like,
don't.
"Shut up."
Nah, I
Um,
don't.
He's so humble.
Too
That's
fun
why.
is,
Yeah, no, but it's really like it's an incredible gift that is, and to be still able to do this, what I do
Yeah.
after all these years,
Yeah.
I still get to travel to beautiful places like this, hang out with friends, have a great time with music.
Yeah.
It's like, how the hell did that
How
happen?
lucky I am.
How
How fucking lucky.
I'm-
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah.
I am
That's
so
what I repeat
incredibly
myself to every day.
grateful to
Yeah.
everyone who's sharing that passion, going out, listening to music, and enables me to still travel to the craziest places in the world to play music. And that's the beauty of techno. That was like, because techno, electronic music, was the first, like, I would say, music that was not bound to a certain nationality.
Yeah.
It was worldwide. Like, electronic music is worldwide. It has no nations. It has no nationality. It has no race. It has nothing. It's like just humans enjoy techno. And so you were able to go to a lot of places from very early on already. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
And
right.
that is what I'm super grateful and extremely excited every day when I get up.
I think we can finish with these beautiful words and give him a round of applause, please, because that's worth it.
Thanks
Are
for,
beautiful.
thank
Thank
you.
you, Chris.
Thanks for showing up.
We
Thank you.
really appreciate this, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again.
Thanks for having me on this
Yeah.
wonderful couch.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, really great. Let's have some food.
Yeah. Yes.
And then let's have some party.
Yes.
Yay.